Dude. Dude. Bro, I think I solved physics, bro. I didn't do any of the math. I'm just sitting here, like, throwing ideas around. Like, I might actually just be goated. You wouldn't understand. Dude. Alright, bro. Let's do this thing, man. Let's discuss some physics. Some physics, man. Where the hell? I don't know about you, but I love just sitting, doing nothing, and just thinking about theoretical physics. Am I weird for that? I don't think so. Let's see here. Let's see what I'm cooking up, shall we? All right, let me pull it up, bro. I've been trying to write it all down. Like I just keep getting more and more ideas. Okay. Okay. Boom, take this. We gotta move this. Oh man. Dude, the only thing I haven't done yet is try to freaking figure out consciousness. The one thing my theory doesn't really work with, or I haven't thought about that yet. Let me see. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Bro, what is this, bro? Incredible. What in the world is that? Okay. Okay. Here's what we got, man. Trying to find a theory of everything, I might say. Trying to unify all of physics. Do you think me, a 21-year-old, third-year electrician, can solve what every physicist in the world has tried to do without doing any math? I don't know, man. Am I really him? I don't think so. I'm sure there's been like hundreds of people that have had these same ideas. And then was like, yeah, that's kind of a dumb idea. Let's not do that. Dude, it's a little quiet in here. Let me get some music going. Maybe. Nah, maybe not. Dude, okay. So here's the theory. Here's the theory. got, I'm going to call it the theory of photonic dude, I can't even say this. I just had to look up like roots of names. Geometro, dude, hold on. Geometrodynamics or something. Geometrodynamics or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's a word that I found and I used it because it fits. Don't ask me how to say it because I can't, as you can see. Basically, it's a and I've got it all written down here. A fractal, recursive, and topological synthesis of reality. Yeah, I I was literally at work just looking up ideas and trying to stitch them together. I was basically just like looking up theories of like how the universe works, and I was like, that one's kind of cool. But I had one starting idea. Okay, the starting idea came from a video that I watched. The goat. Let me see if I can find him. There's a video I watched today at lunch that got me thinking about it. Let's see. I go to history, I might be able to find it. Oh yeah, here we go.
I never really understood.
Yeah, we're not gonna play it. Also, let's freaking put my sound through my headphones, please. Okay, there we go. Where are we at? This video here, man. I'm not gonna react to it because I've already watched it and it wouldn't really be genuine. But you guys should go watch this video. Great video. But anyways, this video got me thinking. If light is simply a dude, I'm not gonna be able to have all these words, dude. I wrote them down, but they are not at all in my head. Anyways. Oh, dude, what am I even saying, bro? Okay. So light, right? Matter is light. Okay, so that's kind of like the basis of everything that I did today at work. I started with that, and I just kind of like kept throwing stuff at it to see what stuck. And yes, I know, before I did use AI, but not for the ideas. I would basically throw an idea at it, and the AI would either call me a dumbass or it would be like, oh, yeah, that works. And it would tell me why it works. I'd be like, okay. I didn't let the AI give me the ideas, okay? I have a rule when I use it that I'm the one who gives it ideas and it just kind of organizes them, right? So, yes, I know. I did use AI. Big deal alert. I get it. Wasn't the one that gave me the ideas. I would just throw it at it and see what stuck, right? Okay. I had a few, just sitting there when I was doing this, I had a few like aha moments. Like, oh my God, wait, that actually makes sense. I think the first main one that I had was when I was making this theory. I kind of just like realized, wait, I can explain dark energy with this. Like it actually kind of makes sense in a weird way. And so, anyways, basically, it's a framework that proposes a zero matter universe where all physical phenomena are derived from the topological and geometric properties of a high tension spacetime manifold. Okay. Words. I know. Just follow along here. We posit that particles are localized knots of light. So essentially, light is a waveform, right? And the wave is a it's part of the fabric that is reality, right? Okay. So if we think of reality, space-time as a fabric, right? It's a sheet of cloth, right? And it's made up of teeny tiny little threads. Okay. These threads we can define as having a finite size, right? They're the, I think it's Planck, not Planck. It's like the Planck length, right? You have like, which is basically the minimum or the maximum energy in a small area, right? So you use the Planck length to define the thickness of a thread, right? And these threads can be knotted in complex four-dimensional geometric shapes, right? And the waves, the ripples on this are essentially light. It's just a light wave, okay? And so that wave can then be captured in a knot. And a knot can define any particle, electrons, protons, neutrons, and so on and so forth. Okay. It's just the culmination of the frequency of the light that is captured and the geometry of the knot that defines its properties and its mass. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it heavy? Is it light? Like an electron. And so that is what makes up all the building blocks, right? Oh, hold on. Someone's asking me a question. Anyways, so light, once captured in a complex four-dimensional knot, it's basically just like a I don't remember what the name of the shape is. Let's see if I wrote it down somewhere. Um Yeah, no, I did not write the freaking name somewhere. That's awesome. Okay. But anyways, basically it's like a donut shape except four-dimensional, and that makes up an electron, and it's yeah. Okay. Again, I don't know the math, man. I just get the basic concept of the idea, and I've been like throwing the ideas around. So I'm not a physicist. Okay. I'm sure physicists will like tear this apart. But anyways, I think the idea is sound. I just don't know how to do the math. I tried to get the AI to do the math for me, and like it was like, yeah, it's like almost 99% accurate, but like we're missing a percent, which I can't verify because I'm not a physicist. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough, bro. Anyways, right. So there is also on this fabric, there's tension, right? There's a very, very specific amount of tension, which explains the weight of particles like electrons and stuff. The amount of energy that it's needed to make these knots and keep them there. I'm not going to give any of the math. I'm just going to give the ideas. Basically, recap. You have a fabric, right? That is space-time, and it is made up of threads that are the thickness of the Planck length, right? They're Planck threads. And this sheet or this blanket of whatever space-time is being pulled at a very specific tension. Not a lot, but it is very strong. Essentially, one of the numbers was that an electron is basically being held together. If you know how small an electron is, this number will seem insane. But that little electron is being held together by about like, I think it was like 6.5 pounds of force. Again, if you know how small an electron is, that's insane. There's a lot of energy in an electron. Okay. And so, dude, I've literally fried my brain to get today. So if I like keep freezing and like don't know what to say, that's because I've spent all of my brain power coming up with stuff. So I do apologize. Anyways, I'm just going to read basically the abstraction that we have here. Okay. So particles are localized knots of light. Gravity is the geometric tension, right? So the tension we were talking about. When you have a super dense object, it bends, like it basically bends the fabric down. And the same demonstrations that you see everywhere, right? You have a black hole and it like pulls that fabric down really, really tight. And you have that well, that gravity well. Same thing. It's the exact same thing. And when it's stretched like that, the space is literally being stretched. Okay. The universe itself is a nested Kerr interior residing within a fractal hierarchy. What does that mean? Okay. Essentially, I theorized and this is not a new theory. Again, a lot of these things are not like the main theory that I came up with is a combination of many existing theories with like a few nuances that I came up with. I didn't read them somewhere, right? A lot of different theories that I just kind of stitched together in a way that made sense. So most of this is not new. It's just a different combination of different theories. Okay. So basically what I just said earlier, the nested Kerr interior and a fractal thing. Okay. That's not gonna make sense to anybody. Not even me. Like even knowing what that is and reading it, it's like, bruh, what does that mean? Okay. Kerr interior. Basically, we are in a black hole. Our universe is the inside of a black hole. Okay. And this is great because it explains something, two things actually, that we do not understand. Dark energy, okay? That is the rapid expansion of the universe. How does that even make sense, right? Should be slowing down, but why would it? Essentially, we are looking at space from the inside of a black hole. It's stretching out because we are falling further into the black hole. If you think about a black hole and the gravity well that it has, you know what? Maybe I can look up a picture so I can show you. Okay. Gravity well of a black hole. Okay. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Okay, here we go. So, right, you got the fabric here, and then you have the singularity down here. Essentially, whoops, we are falling down this curve. The event horizon would probably be like around here somewhere, or probably somewhere deeper. I don't know. But we are falling down this curve, right? And the further you fall, the more stretched space gets, the more extreme it is until you reach the singularity. Okay. Well, if we're inside a black hole, how does that even make sense? You might be asking. How can we be inside a black hole and not be torn apart? Well, we are getting torn apart, but not yet. We are a product of the energy inside this black hole. We are moving towards the singularity. We're probably like about here somewhere. Okay. Dark energy is simply us moving towards the singularity. But if you were in a black hole, the singularity is not an object. You aren't moving towards an object. Okay? You're moving towards tomorrow. The singularity is not a place, it's a time. So as we fall down this, our universe expands. That's because, oh my god, freaking bot, dude. I hate bots. Get out of here, bitch. All right. Anyways, bot has been annihilated. Anyways, so as you fall down, space is getting stretched. Literally. Like there's more space than there was before. We are all frequencies. Everything from matter, from our freaking bodies to the desk to this microphone to your monitor or whatever thing that you're watching this on, everything is composed of bajillions of little tiny particles that are made up of looping what's the word? Looping vortexes of light, basically. Melon Man, hey man, you missed like half the rant that I was going on, but I'm describing my theory of physics that I kind of came up with at work today. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with a theory of everything. So you're a 3-stream streak, crazy. To catch you up real quick, basically my theory is that everything. Okay, let me pull up my untitled document here. A lot of it didn't carry over, and I told whoever was watching at the beginning, probably no one, but the people watching the VOD or whatever. Basically, yes, I did use AI, but not to give me ideas. I simply used it to, like, I would throw ideas that I had to see what stuck, and it would either tell me I was a dumbass or it would actually, like, incorporate it in my overall theory. So I just used it to organize. Like, I was not letting it give me ideas, okay? I can think for myself. That being said, this is what we have here, okay? Yes, it did decide to add itself to the paper, which I guess is fair, because it did organize my thoughts. Anyways, this is the theory. I cannot say this word. Don't make me say it. I tried, and I failed. Okay. The idea, essentially, long story short, is that everything is a fractal of the space-time fabric, and everything in it is just a product of different geometries of light. Matter is just trapped light, and each little particle is a complex 4-dimensional donut shape, basically, of light. So like an electron is just a pattern of light, and so is a proton. And a neutron is just a combination of an electron and a proton. Good. Half of it is okay. Half of it is better than nothing, okay? But anyway, so where I left off was the fact that this universe, is inside of a black hole of a parent universe, okay? We are inside of a black hole. As I was explaining, that alone explains dark energy, because there isn't energy pushing all of space apart. No. We are falling towards a singularity, and as we fall down this curve, space gets more and more stretched. From our perspective, it looks like space is moving outward, but it's not. We are actually just falling into a more and more stretched space. And the singularity is not a place. We aren't falling into something. No. A singularity is time. It's essentially a time. We aren't falling into something. We are falling towards tomorrow, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that tomorrow is the singularity. No, I'm like the singularity is the end of the universe. And so there you go. And dark matter is a result of complex geometry, the tidal forces of complex geometry. There's no missing mass. It's just you have an extremely complex shape on a fabric using light, like pure energy. There's a lot of tidal forces. Yes, exactly. So space technically is not like actively stretching out. We are just falling into a more stretched space. So basically, like we're sitting here, like this is where we are in our fall. Like the universe is super early. As we fall further, that space is more and more and more and more stretched. And pretty soon you're going to get the theory of like, like the big rip, except that actually changes in my theory. It's not a big rip. We simply just dissolve into the parent universe. Because as we know, black holes over trillions and trillions of years, they dissolve through Hawking radiation into their parent universe. Perhaps the observable universe, the edges that we see are simply the other side, like the inside of the event horizon or some kind of thing. The Big Bang is actually just essentially we see the Big Bang. We are on the inside of this black hole. The Big Bang is actually the star collapsing and becoming a black hole from the parent universe. It just looks like a sudden expansion of energy because we are on the inside of it. The Big Bang is a collapsing star from a parent universe. And now we are falling down this curve into the singularity. Still following along? Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay. Yeah, so particles are just knots of light. Nested Kerr thing, so we're in a black hole. And the fractal thing, basically that is just the fact that there are infinite layers. So we have black holes in our universe, right? Well, if we are inside a black hole and that math does work out, then that means those black holes are just like little baby universes, right? And within those could be more and more universes. Okay? So it's fractal. It just keeps going. It escapes into the past. Because if our universe, when it dissolves, which it eventually will, all the black holes will also dissolve, which means all those universes will dissolve and everything inside them will dissolve and on and on and on, which means technically, when you look at it, every single universe that we come from and we seed, all these baby little universes inside the black holes, every single layer evaporates at the exact same time into whatever mother universe we came from. And it's an infinite loop. So time is not linear. It's actually a loop. Does it repeat? Not technically. Like, yes, from the point of view of the mother universe that started it all, there would be an end. Like, it would, all the black holes in the mother universe would dissolve and then probably be recreated. Essentially, it's like the mother universe is breathing, right? So it breathes out, and all these little universes are infinitely created down this fractal pattern through geometry of the main fabric. And then breathing in is all that energy dissolving back into itself. The problem is it's an infinite fractal, which means it technically can't end because it will just keep creating more and more. And so I kind of define that as the opposite to entropy, syntropy, where these universes are being infinitely created inside each other, and so they're technically escaping into the past. They are resisting entropy through time. Again, from an outside perspective, it does, I guess, have a finite end. But if you keep following the fractal down into deeper and deeper universes, you can just kind of exist there. You'll just be slowing through an existing theory of relativity, you will be slowing down more and more and more the further you go. Or I guess speeding up. No, you wouldn't be slowing down. From the outside perspective, you would be. No, you'd be slowing down. From your perspective, you'd be the same. Like, obviously, you would age the exact same. But the further you go down into this fractal of universes, you can just kind of keep surviving. Assuming we had a way to enter a black hole without getting shredded, to enter that universe, we could just kind of keep escaping further and further into the past, so to speak. Although technically there's not even a past or a future, it all just kind of exists simultaneously as the fractal. Kind of blowing up my mind right now, but yeah, I'm trying to use terms that make sense to us. I can't just say everything is and will always be. Like, I'm moving right now, so how do I explain that? Well, it's just a frame in a movie. Like, I don't know. And that gets into a lot of philosophical debate and all that shit, so I'm not even going to go there yet. Yeah, the big dissolve. So basically, our universe, once the singularity, like I said, is an event, not a place. The singularity is simply the end of our universe. When we reach that point, the universe or the black hole that we exist in will have reached such a small mass in the parent universe that everything from our perspective, assuming there was some person still alive, I don't even know how, they would literally be torn apart into radiation and emitted back into the parent universe. So I don't even, there's like no way of surviving that, which is really, really fun. Anyways. And again, the only way to survive that, if you were immortal, would be to jump into a black hole. But there's not really, you can't like enter the black hole. Like, you mathematically you can't do that. Like, you just can't enter a black hole. You would just become part of the information that seeds that black hole. Like, you would be broken down, you'd be spaghettified, and your matter would just be the matter that seeds the fractal continuation in that specific universe. That also describes the multiverse or the many worlds theories as not universes side by side or layered on top of each other. It's actually just stacks, essentially, of fractal universes and everything. I'm trying my best to describe this. Again, I'm not a theoretical physicist, so don't quote me on anything, please. Vertical branching, that's like what I said. You have like the ultimate mother universe, and it creates a bunch of black holes, and inside those are universes with their own black holes, and so on and so forth, infinitely down the chain. Strange loop. Oh yeah. That's not everything. I have more stuff up here. Not natural selection. Oh yeah, we kind of decided, or not decided, but each black hole that is followed by, like, for instance, the black holes in our universe, they are a product of the I guess, how do I say this in a way that makes sense? So the matter or the energy that was sucked into the black hole in our universe is what seeds the constraints, I guess you would say, of the next universe, which also kind of explains why our universe is so perfect, not because of random chance, but because of a sort of cosmic natural selection. The universes before us were set up a certain way, and those constants, the physics or whatever from that previous universe, are what fed ours, what seeded ours. And so a universe that is horrible at making stars is not going to create black holes. And so those universes don't create more. A universe with physics that favors star creation and in turn black holes is going to seed more and more universes. So it's not random chance. It's determined by a cosmic whatever I just said. What was the word? Something selection. What's the freaking word? Natural selection. There you go. It's a cosmic natural selection. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm talking about my theory of everything. Yeah, so universes are so perfect because it's a cosmic natural selection. We exist because other universes that don't support life simply don't, like, they stop. There's eventually, dude, I'm literally like frying my brain right now. Holy shit. Okay. Anyways, long story short, bro, our universe is so freaking perfect because it got those characteristics from the universes before it. Universes that don't support black holes, stars, which are the building blocks of life, are not going to create any universes. So through this cosmic natural selection, we are just kind of we are guaranteed. What else was there? What else was there? The math did like slightly hold up. I did manage to get the AI to do some of the math for me. And it was like I said way earlier, it found that it was actually like very, very close to the actual math that we see today. Like why an electron is a certain mass. We literally used a specific wavelength of light and put it into the 4D shape math that you use, and it actually came out to be like 99% accurate, or it was like 98.8. Yeah. I'm cooking my brain right now. Absolutely cooking my brain. There was some other aspect of it that I'm forgetting. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so basically, while I was at work, I took a bunch of theories and put them all together, and like it makes a lot of sense. Now the whole like fractal thing, that's way more on the speculative side, but the math does hold. That's so many, I know. Like the math of us being inside of a black hole does make sense from a mathematic perspective. The expanding of the universe is simply us falling further into a black hole. It's being stretched. And again, if you think of the singularity as not a point, but a future, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. It works out, theoretically. But the idea that every piece of matter is simply a knot of light energy, because light is a wave form, right? Light is a waveform on the fabric, and when it creates knots, captures light, you get particles, so on and so forth. Like, it kind of unifies relativity because, well, oh, here's another thing, kind of increasing in scale, moving away from particles, because particles are made of light. Okay, we've established that. But what is gravity? What is time? Well, mass, as we know, has an effect on this fabric. And when it pushes down on that fabric, it stretches it out. Okay. Well, gravity and time are simply like different sides, or okay, maybe not different sides of the same coin. Like, they are different. Gravity is the dude, man, god, dude, this is like outside of my own. Okay. You take a lot of mass, which is a bunch of little knots, right? Each particle is like each electron, each proton, all these particles are just little knots of light, okay? And those knots have an effect on others, right? They have a force, and they all come together. And once you group a bunch of them together, they start pushing down on that fabric, right? Typical gravity stuff that we know. So you get an object as big as the Earth, and it has a pretty big well. Okay, has a pretty big ring of influence. There's a gravity well, whatever. And it pushes down on that fabric. Not by a lot, but by a sizable amount. When things get more and more massive, they pull that fabric down and it stretches it out more. The stretching that our planet does to the fabric is very minimal, right? And so when you look at the theory of relativity, light moves the same for everybody. Light is going to pass you at light speed no matter what. So if you're still on the stream, then I'll be back maybe. All right, have fun at work. Wherever you sit on that fabric, whether you're on a flat piece of whatever space in the middle of a void, or you're in the deepest part of a gravity well, like you're in the freaking center of the planet, like, obviously that's still a very minimal change in time dilation, but it is, right? It is still there. I mean, we can actually measure the difference of someone sitting on the ground and someone up in a jet. Like, the difference is very small, but it's there. The faster you move, the I guess the faster you move, the slower you move through time, if that makes sense. And that's simply because when you look at light, there's a speed limit, right? The light has a speed limit. It always moves the same speed. When light is in a super stretched point of space, light's moving the exact same speed. It has not changed. It's just there's literally more space to travel. So when that space is stretched out, it literally just takes longer to get from point A to point B of a space that has been stretched out. It's like you take a rubber band and you put little two dots really close to each other, and then you stretch out the rubber band. Those dots get stretched out and further apart. Light is a constant. It's the exact same. If the rubber band's here, light's going to travel really fast between those dots. You pull it far apart, it's traveling the exact same speed, regardless of how much that is stretched. And so it literally just takes longer to get there. And so whether you're standing as an observer in a super deep gravity well, or you're out in the middle of a void where space is pretty flat, like you're going to experience different rates of time, because time is simply the rate of information. Light waves are information. So time, we perceive time as movement, right? That's just how fast we are getting information and how fast our information is changing, right? In a sense, I probably described that horribly, but I'm trying, man. I just this kind of goes into the fact that I can, like, in my brain, I can understand complex things because I can visualize it. I can use like feelings of logic. But when I try to translate it into words, I kind of just like it doesn't work. There's a lot of like decompression loss essentially. Like I'm trying to take a 4K image and give it to you in 144p. Like it doesn't really work. Like I understand the concepts of all of this, but trying to explain it to people is not because the people listening are dumb. It's because I literally just I have no idea how to describe it, even with words in front of my face. Oh yeah, it's literally right here. Why don't I just read what I literally wrote? Okay. Gravity and time are not forces. They are the reaction of geometry to stress. Okay. Gravity is relaxation. Okay. Massive objects. See, the reason I didn't read this is because this is old, right? This is the first thing that I wrote down. This is the last thing. And the last thing that I wrote down kind of lost some of the stuff that I had before. So it's a little different. Massive objects are not just one big knot. No, each particle is a knot, and then there's just a collection of them. And if you think of it this way, each knot is tugging on the. Okay, this is actually really better, much better way to say it. Each knot, to make a knot in a fabric, you have to kind of pull on it to get that in a knot. Right? Electron is so small, so the way it pulls on the fabric just a teeny tiny bit. It's like a microscopic knot in an infinite fabric. It's very little. And so one little electron isn't going to have a big effect. But if you start gathering a bunch of knots into one spot, the overall tug on the rest of the fabric gets bigger. Right? It just tugs it more and more and more. You're basically grabbing. It's like having a very taut fabric, right? Pinched on all sides, super. So like it's like almost like a little like a trampoline, and then you're taking your hand, grabbing it, and pulling it up, right? That stretches it a lot. Stretches it a hell of a lot. Right? If you grab a handful of that fabric, just grab it and pull it up, you're going to stretch that fabric out. Assuming the fabric is strong enough not to completely rip, and those clips that you have holding on all sides will not let go. If you grab that fabric and you pull it up, it's going to take a lot of energy, but it's going to stretch that fabric out because those clips are not going to let go. Okay. And those knots, they gather up, and you get something like a planet or a star, and pulling on it is literally stretching space. And you get things like black holes, which are just ridiculous. I don't know. As that's kind of the whole idea of my theory is that light makes up pretty much everything from matter to time, and then gravity is simply just a product of that tension caused by knots of light. So essentially, light is just everything. Light is literally everything. Should we even call it light at that point? I mean, I don't know. But light is everything. We live within a black hole, but we also have black holes. So then I guess you could say that the many worlds theory is true, but it's not next to us or layered on top of us. It's a fractal trickling of infinite amounts of universes. That's the nutshell. Absolutely no one probably understood that because I explained it horribly. But that's how it goes. I'm gonna have to like teach myself physics, like the math of physics, so that I can do the math myself. But that's gonna take way more time than I'm willing to put in. So yeah, I'll just send this idea off to someone who can actually do the math, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. I don't know. I like the idea. It just really when when someone explains it to you in words that make a lot more sense than what I just tried to do, it really makes a lot of sense, and the unifying theories is like really strong. But when you have a dumbass like me try to explain theoretical physics, it doesn't translate well. So that I apologize for. Uh anyways. This is my freaking work shirt. I'm gonna go change out of it real quick. I'll be right back. Dude, what's crazy to me though is how many things it like explains. Like what is the Big Bang? Oh well, that's just the last glimpse of the star that we once were, of the parent universe. Essentially, we are the product of a star from a parent universe, a primordial star to say. Um, as well as any other information that ever falls into that black hole from the parent universe will be received by us at the exact same time, at the beginning of the universe, because time is weird. Because again, from the parent universe, if something falls beyond the event horizon, time and space flip. It's no longer moving towards the singularity, it is now moving through time. So every single thing that enters that black hole, the black hole that is our universe, everything that enters it in the entire lifespan of that black hole will enter it at the exact same time to us, right? Because the event horizon, oh, whoops, wrong. The event horizon, right, is probably like up here somewhere. And so if this is the parent universe out here, anything that falls into it, like the parent star that we were, most of the mass that comes into our black hole is already been sucked in, right? If anything else falls into it, if it sucks up more stars, if it sucks up more planets, whatever, throughout the entire history of that parent universe, it's all going to culminate at the Big Bang for us, the start of our universe. It's all going to be there. So everything that ever fell into our universe was there at the Big Bang. Everything. So that's cool to think about. And of course, the fact that we can explain dark energy as not space literally expanding out from us, but just the fact that we are falling further into a singularity of a black hole. That's pretty cool. And then dark energy simply just being the tension of complex geometric shapes on a fabric. Like a galaxy has ridiculous complex geometry on a galactic scale, and just like the gaps, dude. You could honestly say I have. This is probably going so far now that I'm completely wrong, but like the spirals in our galaxy could just be the pattern that comes from the shape of like the fold of the geometric pattern, right? That empty space is there because it's been stretched or something. I don't know. Like now I'm just getting into places that I don't even understand. But or not dark energy, but dark matter, the missing mass isn't missing mass at all. It's just what happens when you have a bunch of matter in one place. It pulls on the rest of space a lot. So I guess you could say, like, in a way that almost makes it sound like gravity, which is the essentially kind of like the byproduct of clumps of knots, right? You're pulling up on that sheet. You could say that what we call dark matter, is really just kind of a subset of the result of gravity. Interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. Oh, man. Where do I go from here? Just described freaking theoretical physics, and now what do I do? Go back to freaking making sub emotes? What a depressing existence. There's a lot of other things in this rabbit hole of this theory that I came up with, but it kind of starts to get depressing the more you dig into it. It starts like talking about it starts getting into, time. And once you start getting it, like, time is in like the actual, like, where's the beginning? Well, the beginning and the end are the same because it's a loop. Like literally the beginning and the end are the exact same thing, but there's also no time. It's simply just like every moment is simply just a frame in a fractal multiverse. If that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah. But we are all frequencies. Everything is a frequency. Everything, every particle, every person, everything. Which is pretty cool, man. I like physics. Physics is cool. But I can't do the math, so I'm just like an ideas guy. Maybe I'll probably work on it on the side, since I guarantee you nobody ever wants to hear me ramble about this again. Seems like I'm the only one that cares. Really sad. Maybe I'll try to make this into a YouTube video. Funny joke, I'm really fucking lazy. I don't want to make a YouTube video, man. I don't want to. But I probably should, because I might be able to, spend more time, make like a script or something I can actually read, so I'm not explaining things horribly. The YouTube video might hit a little harder than this. Also might reach a few more people. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Bro, what do I do now, bro? Just talked about theoretical physics. Can't just go and make emotes, dude. Freaking lame. Man. Dude, I was watching a video the other day of how Jinxie got big. He he streamed for like years to two people. Two. And I'm wondering because it was one of those viewers was obviously his dad. His dad would tune into every single stream. Great. Freaking great guy. I mean, that's a W dad if I've ever heard one. Tune into every single stream. But I'm thinking, bro, because I'm looking at mine right now and it says 1, and it always says 1. But I think I said this in my first stream, bro. That 1 is probably just me, right? Because I have my own stream open. Now people have told me that Twitch like doesn't count the view if it's like at the same place, right? If it's like the same IP, it doesn't count it. But I don't think that's true. I see 1, right? But no one ever talks. No one ever says anything. So I think that 1 is just me. So I'm thinking Jinxie had 2 viewers for years. And I wonder if that 2 was simply him and his dad. That man, he's a little bit of a goofy guy when you watch him. But that man has persistence like no one else. No one else. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could stream to myself and one person in my own house for like 2 years. That would be like heart-wrenching, bro. But he did. He kept going. And that's insane. And so every time I look at that number, dude, I know a lot of streamers actually tell you to just turn the number off. And I'm actually tempted to do that. I'm tempted to just turn off the number so I don't see it. But it's pretty obvious when no one's here because no one chats. I don't know. I might turn off the number because it's a distraction. And it just kind of like kills you, man. I said this before, being a small streamer is not hard physically at all. But mentally, dude, it's like, what am I doing? And like so many people will clown on you. They'll say, man, like it's not gonna work out, dude. You're gonna be stuck like that forever. And you see so many streamers that have been doing it for like 5, 10 years, man, and they never break 10. And never break 10, 10 or 15. They just sit there. Are they doing something wrong? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I guarantee you there are people out there who do everything right and they just never make it. And so the people that tell you you're fucking crazy, well, they have merit. They're not wrong. I mean, like, they're really not. Um. Anyways, I started thinking about that recently, especially looking at that number. It's it's a little motivating, but it's also kind of demotivating at the same time. It's kind of weird. It's like a superposition of motivation. It's both unmotivating and motivating at the same time. Because it's like it motivates you in the way that this guy did it for 2 years on 2 viewers, but he made it. He made it in the end. After 5 years or so, I think it was, he's now one of the biggest. I mean, from a career standpoint, that's pretty insane. In 5 years, you can go from nothing to making more money than any high-paying degree from college anywhere. I mean, that dude probably makes like 50K a day. He makes my yearly salary as an electrician in 1 day. 1 day. Like, that's insane to think about. And he did it in 5 years. I've been doing electrical for 3 years. It'll be 4 in October. So yeah, just over 3 years I've been doing this. And just imagine, bro. I had done the same thing he did. and the time was the same. I got it in 5 years, right? In 5 years, I blew up. But here's the thing, though. It wasn't just 5 years. I think it was he had like 1,500 watcher or like viewers at probably like 3 or 4 years. I think it was around year four, and you can make like probably like 10K a month. I was watching a video. Joe Bart was going over it, and he was like, "Yeah, you could probably make like 10K a month off of 1,500 views if you stream every single day. 10K a month, buddy. That's like 4 times what I make. That's already 4 times what I make, and it was in 4 years, which is I'm about to hit 4 years. So it makes you think, like, dude, if I had done that, and I done it the same way, I did it all right, and it took me 4 years to blow up to get to 1,500. And it's like the thing is, you're not just you could probably make about 2K a month off of maybe 200 to 300 views, which means you could probably make a, a, a sizable monthly income off of 500, 1/3 of what he had at year four. And you're probably going to get that in year three because it's almost exponential. Like when you're down here, you get no movement, but the second you start getting traction, you just go up. If you grab on the wave, man, I mean you're gonna ride it up, no problem. But anyways, it's like I've been doing electrical for 3 years. If I put myself on the timeline, I might be getting like 300 viewers right now if I'd started back then. And I did. The crazy thing is, I did. I started when I was 16, which is almost 5 years ago. If I had just stuck with it, I could be top right now. I could be top of the world right now. I could be where Jinxie's at right now at this moment if I had just stuck with it back then when I started. That's just crazy to think about. Now, of course, there's always the greater chance that it just doesn't work out. That's absolutely possible. Like I said, I know people doing it for like 10 years that never freaking made it. I actually know a guy. He actually was one of the people that gave me a shout out. Viking Pilot. I met him when he was at like 600 followers. And every once in a while, I would kind of check in on him, like every like 6 months or something. I would pop into his stream and see how he's doing. And he started, I don't even know how long ago. He started before I started, right? Because I started streaming a couple months after I had seen him and I was, getting in with the communities, not just his community, but other people's communities and all that kind of stuff. Because I kind of made online connections then. It was during COVID, but he was doing it before then. And so, I mean, he's been doing it for about 5 years, and he's finally broken 100. He's probably making a sizable amount of income. He seems like it. He seems a lot happier now. He's making a sizable amount of income, I would probably guess, because he's over 100 viewers. He's partnered, like he's going. And I know he uses other tactics like, TikTok, YouTube. Like he does other stuff. It's not just Twitch. But I know he's probably making a pretty good monthly income. He's been doing it for 5. But he didn't become Jinxie, you know? So it's like, it's still, even then, there's still layers to it. Like, Viking Pilot, he made it, right? He's at a point where he could probably reasonably live off of, he might already be. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the guy personally, but I've just kind of, like I said, I checked in every once in a while, see his progress, and it's definitely accelerated. Um, will he be top? I don't know. I don't think so. And not because he doesn't have what it takes, but I mean, he's a Minecraft guy. He plays Minecraft. And Minecraft is a great game, don't get me wrong, but it's also oversaturated. I think genuinely, if that guy, the problem is he built his entire community off of Minecraft. And if he's fine where he's at, I mean, that's great, you know. Um, but if he was someone that wanted to reach the top, which I even the top people will tell you you don't want to reach the top. Like you lose every ounce of your privacy. You know, you lose a lot to be up there, but you also gain a lot. So it's just kind of a hit, just to each their own, you know. But look at someone like Viking Pilot, and I mean, he's like I said, he's making probably a sizable amount. If he still works a job on the side, which I don't know if he does, I mean, he's going to be making a lot. He's going to be making a lot. And someone like Jinxie, who blew up and by year 5 is the top, I look at both of those and it's like, dude, if I had just stuck with it, I could be anywhere at or between them, you know? I could be at the point Viking Pilot's at, making a sizable amount. Not 10K a month, but, you know, a good amount. If I paired it with my current profession, like if I did it alongside it, I could be making well over 6K a month, which is fucking insane. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like 3 times what I make. Well, not 3 times, but maybe like 2.5 times. Um, I mean, that would be crazy. If I was anywhere at or in between those two guys, and both of them hit it in about 5 years, and it's been 5 years since I started now, like, that's crazy. It's just like, it's all in persistence. It has almost nothing to do with what you're actually doing. It's just persistence. Now, obviously, you got to play the game right. I can't just stream on Twitch. If I just streamed on Twitch, I'm not going to go anywhere. Absolutely, I'm not going to go anywhere. Never. I have to utilize TikTok. I have to utilize YouTube. The problem is YouTube, it actually takes effort. You have to actually make something of it. TikTok's pretty easy. You just take clips and just fucking spam the shit out of it. Absolutely spam. You know, I mean, you thousands and thousands just so that you're like casting the biggest net that you can. With YouTube, it's more methodical. You have to make sure that it's something people will click on. The stream is just where you funnel everybody to. The stream is not going to be your main content. It shouldn't be. I mean, like, okay, I guess it's your main content in the way, like, that's what your goal is to become a bigger streamer. Because it's the easier thing. I mean, it's way easier to just sit down, hit go stream, and then just, like, play a game, and then end stream, and you're good for the day. You know what I mean? Than it is to actually plan, write, edit, and do a whole YouTube production. It's even easier than spamming TikTok. I mean, like you don't edit it. You don't have to do anything. You just stream and then you stop. And so it's kind of the end goal, right? You do TikTok, you do YouTube, you got Instagram links and all that kind of stuff. You go and ramble on Twitter just to get people's attention, and all of that is meant to feed into your stream. The streaming is kind of the easiest thing. So, what's my plan? Because I'm not going to do this if there's not a means to an end, right? I don't do anything unless there's a means to an end. So the only reason I'm streaming is because I know that there's something I can do to get bigger on it. Nobody's listening right now because I'm not big enough. Dude, if I had a not a preset, but like if I had a community, right? Let's say I built my community through games, variety streams, Minecraft, whatever. No, just talking streams at all. Right? I didn't do any of that. I didn't do any reactions or anything. I just did games, more games, infinite games, bacon and shit. You know what I mean? Like whatever. I did that, and then I switched to just talking. Right? I built a community, and then I did just reaction and just talking. Right? There's enough people that I've built up now that I can do that and just maintain it. I don't even have to play games anymore because now there's people there and they'll just stay and watch. You can't, I feel like I can't build a community off of just talking because nobody's going to freaking click on it. You got to be doing something. You can't just be rambling. And I know that. And most of what I do is ramble. And so I think what I'm going to do in order to get big is for the first, I think for the first few weeks, I am just going to do what I'm doing. Basically, like slowly setting up my streams. For the first few streams, I'm just going to ramble, just get into the swing of things, just get myself used to talking to nobody. Because I have to prepare myself for the long haul. I have to prepare myself for the nobody streams that will be for the next year, year and a half, right? I know that. This is streaming. The hardest part of streaming is the beginning. The first year, year and a half, maybe even 2 years will be the most grueling and mentally challenging ever. It's the worst part. It gets slowly and slowly better as you do it more, and eventually you finally have a dedicated chat. Because I said this in my first stream, if you want to be a big streamer, you have to have a chat, which is kind of a paradox, because in order to get a chat, you need to attract people. But people only click on streams to see the interaction between the streamer and the chat. If you have a funny chat and you interact with them in a funny way, you're going to attract even more people, and they'll want to be part of the conversation. If there's no conversation being had, and it's just me talking to myself in a room, nobody's going to want to come in and watch. No one. There has to be an interaction between me and you guys for more people to want to get in on that interaction. Which is why starting streams, you should do what I'm doing. You should not start with just talking or just chatting. You shouldn't do that. That's horrible. Doing just chatting as a new streamer with less than 100 followers is like the worst thing you can do. You're not going to gain any traction. You need to have something that is interesting to people, which is why most of the time you just play a game. You do art. You do something other than just talk. You have to. There's nobody's going to click on a stream that has one viewer and they look on the little profile picture and it's just a dude sitting there in full screen rambling. Maybe some guys will just say, okay, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But then more often than not, they're going to click on a point in the video where I just happen to not be talking, like I'm thinking, collecting my thoughts. They'll be there for about 5 seconds and be like, okay, I'm out. Like this dude's just sitting here doing nothing. Like boom, this pause, like that pause right there. Someone could have clicked in and clicked out so fast. Like it doesn't take long to to look at a stream and decide, yeah, no, I don't want to watch this. But anyways, back to my Jinxie conversation. Like that dude streamed for 2 years to this, to exactly what I'm streaming to right now. One person. This one is me. Like the number one that I'm seeing there is just me, right? I've said that. But that two will probably most likely be my girlfriend. Bless her heart. I love her. She's very supportive. This is streaming is not my priority, right? The reason she's so supportive of this is because it's not an all in. I'm not going all in on streaming. That would be stupid. That would be absolutely stupid if I did that. I'm an electrician. I have a career. I can make a lot of money from my career. Nowhere near what I could if I was at the top of Twitch. But getting to the top of Twitch is such a hit or miss. It's a gamble. You're basically buying a lottery ticket. You're buying a lottery ticket with your time. Every hour that I invest into this is time that I'm putting into that one lottery ticket, that one bet. It's like buying a stock, right? every time I stream, I'm putting more and more hours into this stock. And I'm watching that price either go down. Like if we think of my viewers as a price, I'm rock bottom right now. So technically I've got nothing to lose except my time. I'm just burning time essentially. But technically I can't get any lower than this, so I really have nothing to lose. As long as I keep my career going in the background and stream is a hobby, I have to frame it as that, because if I don't, I'm going to give up on it. Technically, I've got nothing to lose. I can't get any lower than this. I can't go lower than 1 view because that, like I said, that 1 view is me. And so the motivating part of Jinxie is saying that, he stuck to it. He tells you, man, you may be the only one that believes in yourself, but you just stick to it, man. Everybody will tell you you're not going to make it. You're dumb. You're bad for trying to do that. But he stuck to it anyway. He didn't care. And the thing is, again, he went all in. I'm not all in. I have something to fall back on. I have a job, right? I provide. I'm not trying to roast Jinxie. That's not what I'm trying to do. But like I'm providing to society right now. I'm an electrician. I build shit, right? I turn the lights on for people. I'm one of the guys that allows big streamers to do what they do. If it wasn't for people like me, I'm not saying that I built all the infrastructure and they should all be thanking me. No, dude, I'm one tiny little electrician. I'm an apprentice. I've not even been around that long. I'm just saying I'm one of the people that makes what these guys do possible. They couldn't plug in their PC without the infrastructure that we put in. I'm not claiming that as a personal, oh, yeah, I did that. No, dude. But the infrastructure is there because of electricians, right? Because of the homes, the walls, everything is there because of the construction industry. Streaming is built on the backs of laborers. Every single job that that sits, every office job, every white collar job sits on the back of the construction industry. And bro, that gets me to another thing. The amount of shit that construction workers get from normal everyday people is stupid. It's stupid. When you drive past a guy working on the road that you will later inhabit and drive on to get somewhere faster, and you look at him and go, oh my God, these guys, they'll never finish this place. They're so slow. When are they going to finish this road? These freaking guys are always in the way. They're always closing my route. And I have to, all this traffic, man. These freaking workers are to blame. They're not doing anything. Look at them. They're just standing there. I hate those people. I know what it's like to be on the other side. I cannot tell you how many times, it's every single day. If I go to cross the road, I have a freaking high vis on, right? The point is so that you see me. Like a high vis vest, right? Those fucking green vests or orange vests that you see construction workers wearing. The entire point of that is so that you see me easier. But when people see that, instead of saying, oh, let's avoid that guy, he's trying to be seen. No, they treat it as a freaking target, bro. Like they completely ignore you. So many people, like they see a freaking construction worker and they're like, oh my God, I hate that guy. Like he's always in the way. These freaking construction workers, these road workers, they always cut off my roads and all this stuff. They're always in the way, always making a mess. They're messy, dirty people. And they just like ignore you completely. You go to cross the road and you could be like a third of the way into the road and a car will just whiz past you. And you're like, dude, what? Hello, I'm crossing here, Don't freaking run me over. Like people, they just have like this thing against construction workers and I see it all the time. Like you could see a car coming slow and like you're inching your way, you're hitting one of these, bro. You're just like trying to make yourself seen, inching out into the road. And they just keep going. It's like, dude, did you not see me? And it's funny because you're thinking, well, technically, cars, whatever, they have right of way. I guess. Sure. You could argue that. But that same guy will look down the street and some random ass dude, he's not wearing a vest, a hard hat, or anything. He's just dressed nicely, right? They'll stop for him. They're like right on top of him, but they'll stop for him. For me, I had so much room, dude. And they're coming up, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to cross the road because I know they're going to hit me if they don't stop. And so I'm kind of inching my way out because they're just far enough away. Like, they're just at the right distance so that I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure about it. I'm not entirely sure about crossing the road right now. Because if this guy doesn't see me, he's going to hit me, right? They're at the perfect distance correlated to their speed that if I crossed right now, they'd hit me. And so, like, I'm kind of inching out, and they don't stop. They have way more room. They don't stop, and they just keep going. I'm like, okay. But then again, I look down the road, and the next dude has way less space. Way less space. And the dude in the car will just stop. Like, slam on his freaking brakes and let the guy go across. Like, the dude wasn't in the way. He just stopped on his brakes and let him cross. He's like, oh, yeah, come on, come across. And I see this at least like once or twice a week. Once or twice a week, this happens to me. I'll be crossing the road and like people just, they don't like you. If you're a construction worker, they do not like you, which fucking is crazy. Because the reason they're even driving where they're driving is because of someone who built the road there. That road exists because of a construction worker. I'm an electrician. Obviously, I didn't build the road, so I can't claim that too, But I am a part of the whole process. I'm a part of the whole machine that is the construction industry. A very, very small part, but I'm a part of it. And so I kind of have, I have some workers' pride in my industry. I may not have individual pride for my company because I'm just there to make money, but as a whole, like me, my company, everything, as a whole, I mean, yeah, I have pride for my industry. The construction industry, I'm a part of it. I'm one little part of a giant machine that builds everything. I don't do everything personally. I do a very small amount of the total amount. Like even within electrical itself, the electrical field is huge. One of the most complex and biggest trades as there is. There's often a lot of electrical masters will even say this is an electrician's world. Everybody else just lives in it. And he has some merit to that. Like there is truth to that. The lights are on because we put them in. Are we the ones that generate the power? Not necessarily, but we're the ones who probably put together whatever generator it was. The electricians, we're the installers. We install everything from plugs to lights to fans to the power that powers your air conditioning, to the cables that carry the power, the distribution lines, linemen. Linemen are some crazy motherfuckers, dude. I could never be a lineman. I just do commercial work. I go in and I'll do work for, like, I install stuff for businesses. My company will send me out to a job site. It's like a freaking, like a damn Foot Locker or something, And I'll put in all the lights, I'll put in all the plugs, any power to any display cases. I did a Rolex store once. It's probably like the fanciest place I've done. Yeah, I worked on a Rolex store once. That place had a lot of lights. And I'll give you a little secret. Don't kill me, Rolex. But the strip lights that y'all choose, they suck, man. They look really nice. Don't get me wrong. They look really nice, but they suck. They're trash, man. They're like cheap little tape lights, man. They're okay. I will say this. The tape lights that Rolex uses in their personal store, because we did a combination. We did a Rolex store, and then next to it was just a general watch store, right? The tape lights that we used in the general watch store were absolute ass. It was literally the exact same stuff that you buy to like put around your room, or like little underglow lights that you put in your table. Same shit for a business. Those lights are going to be on like 24/7. The only difference is they have a ballast, but a really shitty one. So they always overheat and turn off. We get called out like a million times. Oh my God, our lights aren't working. I'm like, well, if you had bought something maybe a little bit better, like as electricians, we're not magic, man. We just make the connections. We just make the connections on wires. That's our job as electricians, is to make sure that the connections are safe and they work. Okay, cool. But if you buy shit that itself overheats all the time, well, isn't that a, don't you have to prevent it from overheating by doing the correct math and making sure that the power, dude, we give it exactly what it's rated for. That ballast calls for a certain amount of power in order to power up that light. Okay, we give it that. And we make sure that it's not overloaded. Like, yeah, we do that. But if you buy shitty stuff and it's just going to overheat anyway, like, dude, we don't have infinite amounts of material. We can't just, like, like, you don't understand. You have a certain amount of lights that you want in, and you give us a very specific amount of ballasts. We have to use what we get. Because usually it's the client or the store, right? We call them the client. They usually will buy the fixtures that they want, and it's our job to just make it work. As an electrician, that is literally like the definition of our job. We're the guys who just go in and make it work. We're reactionary. We can't be proactive because everything we do hinges on what other people are doing. If they put a wall in a certain way, we have to make sure our stuff works with it. If they put a bunch of backing in a wall, we're going to have to cut that out to put our stuff in. If we had put our stuff in before they finished putting the backing on, we'd have to take our stuff out, or more often than not, I don't mean to shit on like the framers and stuff, but they do it all the fucking time. Like, if we have something, they'll just bury our shit, and then we have to go and dig it back out afterwards. And a lot of times we don't even see it, because usually the jobs are pretty big. You have like 50 to 100 plugs, and then one gets buried in a back room. You never see it. And then by the time it's time for inspection, you're like, wait a minute, where's this plug gone? And then you think, oh my gosh, did we miss it? And you go look up in the ceiling, you see a whip coming down. You're like, oh no, it's there. They just buried it. And so we have to cut a big ass hole in the wall. Then all the framers get mad at us. And it's like, well, buddy, you covered my box. I'm getting on a total rant here, man. I don't even know where the fuck I was going. Right, dude, God, dude, that was a horrible rant, dude. I need someone here to get me on track. This is the one problem with being alone, dude. I was saying, I have a career to back me, right? And so I can stream and it not be a problem. This is essentially just a hobby for me. I'm not going to be able to stream 8 hours a day. It's not going to happen. I almost didn't stream today. And by the way, the reason I didn't stream tomorrow is because I have an electrical school that I go to from like 5:30 to 9:30. And if I had streamed that day, I would have streamed for like 30 minutes to an hour. But that would have also taken away my time to, eat food. So Thursdays are going to be off, but I am going to try and stream every single day. Like, straight up, I'm going to try and make that rule for myself. I'm going to have my girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend, hold me to that. I'm only going to stream whenever I'm not doing anything, right? When I come home from work, I don't need to do anything. My girlfriend's usually still at work. I'm sure you've seen her come in all the time. It's like, I'm still at work. Like what she just did, right? She's still at work. And so even if we were like living together or whatever, like this would be my free time. Like I can stream right now. This doesn't bother anybody's time. Even if I had plans with her, like I'm chilling right now. Works out pretty good. So I can stream every single day. That's not a problem. Thursdays are the only thing, right? Now, the time at which I stream on Saturday and Sunday is to be determined. It might be a little random, and I apologize for that. But I'm going to try and stream every day. I'm going to try and make it a habit. Okay? I'm going to break this freaking system, dude. I'm going to get big. Like, I'm telling you. Hi. See? Look, there she is, guys. Speak of the devil. I was just talking nice things about you. saying that you're very lovely and that you are helping support me. Yes, yes, yes. My one lovely little supporter. Okay. But anyways, um yes, I'm going to stream every day, and it's usually going to be on the weekdays, it's going to be the same time almost every single day. It's going to be whenever I get home, which could be anywhere from 3:30 to 4:30. So, um basically every day it's almost guaranteed that it's going to be from 4:30 to 6:30. So about 2 hours. So, I can almost guarantee unless something comes up, I'll be streaming for about 2 hours every day. Except for Thursday. Thursday's off limits. For the weekends again, can't really predict that. I have no idea. And sometimes I have plans, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's at night, sometimes it's in the morning. There's really no telling. So that just really depends. But I'm gonna try and do the clip thing. I'm gonna try and spam TikTok with clips to get attention. I'm gonna try and turn some ideas into YouTube videos. I'm actually gonna stop uploading VODs to YouTube because I heard that can actually like destroy your like trust value on YouTube. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess it is. Some secret little value that they don't tell you about. How to what? How to what exactly? Yeah, so I'm not gonna post VODs on YouTube. The trust values thing. That I don't really understand how that works, but I was looking up strategies online to grow your audience on Twitch. The unifying thing was you cannot just stream on Twitch. You're not going to get anywhere. Like, you might get lucky, maybe there's a chance, but that's pure chance to get noticed because Twitch has horrible discoverability. TikTok has insane discoverability to the point where it's like it's almost like everybody just gets a random amount of like it'll just suggest you randomly to random people. So it has a pretty insane discoverability. So if I just spam clips, the very few people that see it and the even fewer people that actually like it will follow me there, and then they'll see, oh, on my thing, I stream on Twitch. Cool. Even fewer of those people will then come and watch the stream. But with the amount of people that are on TikTok, the amount of people that I could reach on TikTok, that minuscule, maybe like 1% of the people that see my stuff on TikTok would. Yeah. So like 1%, the total amount of people that watch a short on my TikTok are going to actually make it to Twitch. But there's so many people on TikTok that 1% of, let's say, like a million viewers, and that's across like every single one of my shorts. Like every single short that I post on there, if across all of them I get 1 million views and only 1% of those people make their way to Twitch, that's still like what? Obviously that's that is a completely wrong number. It's probably more like 0.001%. But even then, like let's say 1%, right? That would be a million views. That would be like 10,000. Yeah, so that's totally incorrect. It's definitely like 0.001, which would be like 100, I think. Like out of the million people that view my stuff, maybe 100 will make it to Twitch. That sounds about right. That sounds pretty accurate. It might even be less, but we'll say that. So it's a 0.001 success rate. But again, Twitch is insane. Or not Twitch, TikTok's insane. Like, there's so many people on there. And they're just scrolling. They're just sitting there hitting one of these. You know? And eventually they might see me, this freaking guy, rambling about physics or giving tactics about streaming, even though I'm a shitty little streamer. They might be like, oh, this guy's kind of weird. I'm gonna go check him out. You know, whatever, dude. Any attention is good when you're this small, unless it's like really bad, then maybe not. But um, yeah, dude. I think another thing that would be really good is to just tell like everybody you know, even if like you don't like them. Just freaking tell everybody. Just tell everyone that you know to come and watch your stream. Like, go up to all your freaking coworkers, go up to all your friends. If you're in school, go to all your freaking friends in school. Tell all your friends to tell all their friends to tell all their friends. Like, just keep the freaking cycle going. You know what I mean? And if even 1% of those people tell their friends to tell their friends, like, eventually that's going to be, you are funny and weird. Yeah. Like, even if a small percentage of those people, if you tell enough people to tell enough people to tell enough, like, you know what I mean? Like if you keep that chain going, eventually you're gonna reach a ridiculous amount of people. And even if a small amount of them follow, that's still a lot. And if that chain somehow just keeps going and people tell their people, hey man, check this guy out. One of my friends told me about him. He's kind of funny. I'm not saying I'm funny. Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend thinks I am, but you know, well, I guess we'll see how true that is within time. But you know, assuming I am funny, which I may or may not be, a small amount of those people say, hey, man, my friend told me about this guy. You should check him out. He's kind of funny. And that pattern just keeps going. You might get a couple hundred, couple thousand people just from word of mouth. It's possible. A couple hundred, couple thousand people just from word of mouth. That's pretty good. That's pretty dang good. But you have to foster that kind of community. To get a community that just keeps that cycle going. Oh, tell your people, tell your people, tell your people. That could be good. It would be hard to set up, but it could be good. And if you pair that with the spam of TikTok, dude, you might grow pretty quick. And so my coworkers are kind of a bust. They don't really care, which I figured they would. They're freaking they're construction workers. Why the fuck would they be on their Twitch, dude? I know one other coworker I have that actually streams, but he streams like one game. He streams one game and like barely talks. So I don't know. We'll see how far he gets. I made a joke that I should collab with him. Let's see, bro. He might even be streaming. He might even be streaming now, bro. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this guy. Um, let me see here. You better not play a freaking thing. You better not play a freaking. Okay. I wonder if I ever followed him. I thought I did. Let's see if I can find him. No, it looks like I did not. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Okay. Well, anyways, still excited for you to do the horror game. Oh yeah, that's true. I made like a small little list of potential horror games or like little mini things that I could do. I'll probably do that on the weekend when I have a little bit more time to sit down and play. Um, but yeah, plan on doing some horror games, even though I freaking hate horror. It might make it more interesting for you guys because I may actually just genuinely shit my pants, and that'll be pretty funny. Actually, that's not true. I've never done that before. You remember the question now? Oh, is it something you can ask here, or are you going to do it on the phone? Interesting. Ah, dude, I don't like horror. You know that. Guys, help me, bro. She's trying to make me watch horror. She's trying to get me into horror. I don't want to. Don't let her do it. Well, if it's not that scary, is it really even a horror movie? Dude, what was this dude's name, bro? Like half scary. What is it? What does it even mean? What is half scary? Where's my boy at? Okay, but like what even is half scary? Give me an example of a half scary movie. Dude, I'll have to ask my buddy. Chucky is half scary. I guess we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I don't know. Alrighty. Pizza. Dude. Anyways, I guess long story short, I'm gonna freaking do it, man. I'm gonna become a big streamer. I know it, man. I feel it. I feel it, man. It's gonna take some time, and I'm just preparing myself. Like I said, my here's my whole tactic, my whole mind game here to get myself into it. I'm gonna spend the first couple weeks just doing mundane shit, like talking, setting up streams, like getting my emotes ready. I should have done that today, made my emotes, but I just really wanted to talk about physics and just random shit, just ramble. But I'm gonna do just mundane stuff. I'm just gonna ramble. The biggest thing is rambling because I need to get myself used to talking to no one. I need to get myself used to that. Because like I said earlier, I need to prepare myself for the hardest part of streaming, which is the first year and a half. You talking to me. Yeah, but sometimes you're going to be at work. There's going to be like hours of time where no one's here. And it's going to be that way for probably the first year. I was explaining to the other people that may or may not watch this VOD or whatever. Does that work on the clock? Yeah, maybe don't do that. But I was explaining to other people that one of the biggest streamers, one of the biggest breakout streamers recently, Jinxie, I mean, if you look at his old analytics, bro, he literally streamed to himself and his dad for like 2 years or something ridiculous. Like literally just himself and his dad. 2 viewers on the analytics. He did that for like 2 years. And so like seeing that, it just lets me know, hey man. And I've seen it, almost everybody goes through it. Even one of the people that I kind of know, like me and him have talked before. I think we've even been into VC like once, like I used to interact with him more. But then for like a couple years when I was focusing on work, like being an electrician, um, I kind of just stopped interacting with everybody online. But I used to talk to him, and even him, like his first couple years, they weren't like that slow because he was playing a popular game, Minecraft. Minecraft is always popular, so you're always gonna have at least like a couple viewers. But his start was slow too, and 5 years later for him, he's now breaking almost to 150 average viewers, and he's making a sizable amount. He does TikTok and YouTube. Jinxie, after 5 years, became one of the top three, and so it's probably going to take me about 5 years to get to a point where I'm making a lot. If I can cut down on that time by being strategic, I'm definitely going to try it. If I get the right clips, I post the right shit, get the right attention, I could get there, cut down that time, maybe to 3 years, maybe to even 2.5. I don't know. I made a pretty insane prediction that I would get there in like a year and a half. That alone is going to be the time of the nothing burger that is viewership right now. Um, it's probably going to be silence for at least a year. Every once in a while, a couple of my friends might pop in, but as far as new viewers go, it's going to be rare, very few and far between. And so I'm just using these first couple weeks of streaming to just get myself used to it. Just get myself to rambling, just talking about nothing. You used to want to do podcasts. Dude, I've done a podcast. Oh, and that's the thing, bro. I got to review the freaking podcast that I did with a buddy of mine. It was one episode. It was it wasn't very good, but we did one. I wouldn't mind doing a podcast. I think I could probably do that. I would have to have a topic. I have many topics I like to talk about. You know, if I could discuss my physics topic from earlier with someone, that would be really nice. I need someone who's like just as interested in the same shit that I am, so that the conversation's actually interesting. Um, my favorite podcast is Murder in America. I don't even know what that is, but it's fitting, I guess. You do like gore. You do like horror and you do like gore. Um, I love crime podcast. Yeah, yeah. After the initial few weeks of just rambling and doing really simple stuff, then I'll start getting into, more and more gaming. Like once I'm used to just the ramble, once I'm used to just talking, because as a small streamer, bro, you got to keep talking. If you're just silently playing a game, like, dude, nobody's gonna watch you. Like maybe a few people will pop in just to watch the gameplay, but like I said, most people on Twitch, bro, they want to interact. You get lurkers, but the lurkers are usually just have a big stream in the background. Like, what do you think most of the viewers on big streamers are? They're like 90% lurkers. The people that just have one stream open and they're just doing work in the background. They just pick a big stream. Oh, this guy's big, whatever. Put him on. Like they're loyal. Like they're loyal lurkers, but like, dude, 90% of a streamer's viewership are lurkers. 90% of them. Probably even more than that. Probably like 95%. I guess it depends on how big you are. Like if you are a massive streamer, it's honestly probably higher than it would be for a small streamer. Because usually when you're a small streamer, like a couple people will pop in and like half of them will talk to you. I think that like, as you get bigger, more and more people just become lurkers. Because it's like most people understand that if they type in chat, it's probably not going to be seen. Like you cannot have a conversation with a streamer when you're that big. Which kind of sucks, but I mean it's like it is what it is. You get the trade off. That's one good thing about being a mostly small streamer is you'll see more of the people's messages and you can interact with people more. It's just more engaging. But of course, not being as big means not as big of a check, That's kind of what the time investment that is streaming. I think the beginning phase of being a streamer, like this really slow point, is necessary. Like I think it's actually a necessary thing. Obviously, if it wasn't slow and you got big instantly, there'd be no challenge to it. It wouldn't weed out the weak ones. Like you want a strong streamer mentally. You want someone who's got a head on their shoulders, is set in their ways. Well, not necessarily set in their ways, but it's like if you can get past the grueling part of streaming, then you've got some, what's the word? Like you've got drive. Like you're persistent. I think that slow phase is really necessary. It really proves whether you're persistent or not, whether you're really made for this. If you can't get through that slow phase, then you shouldn't do it. And for a while, that's how I was. That's why I never streamed. And so I kind of made the comment earlier that if I had just stuck to it when I started, it would have been about 5 years now, and I could be anywhere between the popularity of Viking Pilot or Jinxie. I could be anywhere between 100 to 100,000 viewers. I could be anywhere between that. Because 5 years is about, seems like that's a pretty common time threshold to get somewhere, you know? And so I made the comment that if I had just stuck with it back then, I'd be somewhere right now. But I don't think that's a fair assessment. I just wasn't ready for it. I wouldn't be where I was right now because I would have never made it. I would have never stuck with it in the first place. I would have always quit 10 times out of 10 at the same time. There might be like one universe somewhere where I actually kept going and I maybe became something, but I would have hated it. It would have been horrible. People coming into my stream would have seen, dude, like I would have just been torn down. I didn't like the idea of it. And I'm glad I didn't focus on it because I needed to focus on um I need to focus on my job. You know, I need to focus on my actual career because if this never works out, which is there's a pretty good chance, like I said, every hour you invest is like burning time into a lottery ticket that may never be redeemed. So proud of you for trying now. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. It is just streaming at the end of the day, but I do appreciate that. Um, but like, I'm glad I didn't pick that time to start streaming. It's it is. I'm proud. Well, I appreciate that sentiment. But yeah, this is just gonna be a hobby for me. Or I'm gonna try to make it a hobby. I'm not gonna try and let the what's the word, man? The novelty. I'm not gonna try and let the novelty of it dictate whether I keep going or not. I just need to remind myself that this is nothing, dude. I'm literally just sitting here. I'm just sitting. Like, what else would I do otherwise? I'd watch YouTube. Shit, maybe I'll even get to a point where I'm big enough where I can just watch YouTube with people. Like, obviously, I'd have to comment on it. I'd have to do a reaction, right? Because if I just watch YouTube silently, first of all, no one's gonna watch, and second of all, that's just stealing content, you know. So whatever I watch, I'd have to react to, and it'd have to be interesting for people to watch. But the point is, I need to just ingrain in myself that, like, dude, what else would I be doing? I'm not gonna. I know I'm not gonna write, which is what I should. I should be writing. That's some other thing I can ramble about, I guess, in the future is my books that I'm writing. I'm not gonna give too much details because I don't want people to steal my stuff. If I catch you stealing my stuff, I will obliterate you. Okay. I'm gonna stop you there. Don't try and get me to do everything. Because if you try to get me to do everything, I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna do absolutely nothing. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Once I get more comfortable with streaming and I feel I can add something else to my schedule, essentially, like I know my schedule is basically empty 90% of the time. I work and then I do nothing else. But there's this small little window between work and when we either hang out or go to the gym or whatever. This little window, I think, should remain dedicated to streaming because it's the only consistent time window. Like I can hit this time window every single day. Um, but I think once if I get this down on lock and I can prove to myself that I can be consistent with something, like I'm consistent with work, yes, but if I can get consistent with something other than work, which is something I'm technically forced to do, like I can't argue that, oh, I'm consistent with work and that means I'm consistent overall. No, dude, I have to go to work. I'm not choosing to go to work. I have to. If I don't, I'm going to be on the streets. And I wouldn't even have the opportunity to turn on this computer. I'd have nowhere to put it. I'd have to sell it. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't say that work is proof that I have my brain keeps wanting to say tenacity. What is that? Hold on, let me look up the definition of tenacity. My brain keeps wanting to use it, but I don't know the definition. Tenacity. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Tenacity. Having persistent. Oh, dude, I was right, dude. My brain here, because I kept wanting to use tenacity, but I was like, no, that's not a word I can use. What is it? No, bro, it's actually literally quality of having persistent determination, stubborn perseverance, and the unwillingness to admit defeat. That is actually the perfect word I was trying to use, but I kept refusing to use it because I thought it was going to be the wrong word. So that's pretty good. My brain came in clutch. Yeah, so once I proved to myself that I have tenacity, perfect word, man. I'm really glad that I knew that. Once I can prove to myself that I have tenacity in this, outside of what I'm forced to do, which is work, because I need to make money in order to live and turn this computer on, then maybe I'll open up the doors to other things, other projects, such as my book. And of course, every once in a while, I'm going to get some random, boosts of motivation and I'll work on the story a little bit. It might be like once every 6 months. But once I can prove myself that I can stick to something, then I'll open the doors for other stuff. But until then, I'm just gonna stick with this. But it's gonna be brutal, man. It's gonna be freaking brutal, dude. Like again, first few weeks, I'm just preparing myself for the long haul, man. Just get myself used to rambling to nobody, one person, sometimes a couple people that come in. Yes, yes, very supportive. That name suits you well. That name that you came up with in 2 seconds suits you very well. Um, but yeah, that's what we're doing, man. We're getting ready for the long haul. We're gonna hit that year head on. We're just gonna coast through it, man. We're gonna coast through that first year. If I can cut down the time to less, that might be nice. Maybe hit a consistent 5 viewers in at least a month or two. That might be good. I think that's a good thing to hit. I think it's kind of realistic. I think I could hit 5 viewers consistently within a month or two. That's about what I hit last time when I started streaming. Because I streamed like relatively consistently for like a month, I think, like 1 month, and that's how I reached affiliate because I got 5. I was getting consistently like 5 viewers. That was back when I was more connected. I actually used Discord as my primary uh, like way of getting people's attention. And since I was relatively popular in the servers that I was in, so when I posted that I was streaming, a decent amount of people would actually look at it. I think during the peaks when I was streaming before, I could reach like 15 viewers. It was very briefly, but I could reach like 15 viewers and stay there for like a couple minutes, and then I dropped down to 10, and then I dropped down to 5. But I was actually pretty consistent at 5 within just a couple months. So I know that I've got a little something. I got a little pep in my step, and some people want to actually watch me. But I think I've gained something since then, something that might help me a bit more, and that is the ability to talk. I did not talk before. It was just gameplay with a few quips. Like I would literally just say like a couple quips here and there, and if people asked questions in the chat, I would answer them. That was it. If nobody talked in chat, I did not say anything. And so that's what I'm working on now. That's what I keep saying I'm going to be working on for the first few weeks. Just talking, just getting used to it. Because that was the biggest thing that held me back before. I probably could have had 10 viewers if I had talked. Those 15 viewers that came in that I hit for like a few minutes, they all left because I wasn't doing anything. Like I was playing Minecraft, but silently, and my freaking mic sucked. My mic settings were awful. At home soon. I'll tell you when to come over for pizza. All right, sounds good. So we'll see how it goes, man. I have cautious optimism for the coming months, the soon coming months. So like the next month or two. I'm cautiously optimistic. I do think if I play my cards right, I can hit 5 average viewers after the 1 or 2 months. I'm gonna set a goal. After 2 months, I think this is my. When did I start streaming? I started streaming on Sunday. So this Sunday, this coming Sunday, will be my first week complete. Or I guess tomorrow, Saturday, will. Once Saturday's over, my first week will be completed, and then Sunday will start the next. Which kind of works out nice actually, because that is the actual week. Like Sunday to Saturday is the week, you know. Calendar week, I should say. That's pretty nice. So that means if I give myself 8 weeks total to reach 5 viewers, I think I'll be happy. It will not accelerate. It will probably be stagnant. I might reach 10, 15 if I keep at it. I'm going to try and be progressive. I'm going to try and like do what I can to get that number up. I'm going to treat this like a freaking game, dude. I'm going to go in here and use strategy to get people in here and actually watch. I have to use strategy. Dude, this freaking sucks, man, because it's like I know that I could like if I was a big streamer right now, dude, I'd have so many viewers. Dude, it would be insane, bro. Like I watch someone, and I always bring him up because like he's honestly kind of like the inspiration of why I started streaming again and why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. I think Joe Bartolozzi is great. I love watching that guy, and I've only stumbled across him recently. But I watch him, and I see people like him streaming. Like he does exactly what I'm doing, bro. He just freaking sits here and just yaps. Dude, I'm doing the freaking Trump thing, bro. Stop. Freak that guy, dude. Okay. Point is, I see people like him, and I see what I'm doing now, and I'm like, dude, we're not. What are we doing that's different? We're just freaking yapping. Okay. He has knowledge in what is it? Is it psych? No, not psychology. Philosophy, right? He has knowledge in philosophy. That's his thing. He went and got a degree in philosophy. He's been doing it longer. He spammed his come up was him on TikTok, rage compilations and shit. Funny guy, right? I think that's what makes him unique. Is his rage is fucking hilarious. Okay, but like he doesn't do that much anymore. Like his whole beginning was freaking raging, and that was funny, and that got him in the door. And yeah, he still does have rage moments, but he doesn't do it as much. Like if his chat rage baits him, usually he can avoid it. Like he usually just kind of like whatever. But sometimes he falls for it. It's whatever. Like every once in a while you get that, and it's usually when he's playing a game. But like so many like if you watch him strictly on YouTube, because I've never been able to catch one of his streams. I think I caught like a couple minutes of one, and the little bit that I watched, he was doing exactly what I'm doing now. Just talking, just sitting there talking. And so it's like what I'm doing now is not technically a flawed tactic. Like once you're at not the top, but like once you're up there, dude, you're there. Like you've made it. As long as you don't do something absolutely horrendous to get everybody to hate you, like you're chilling. You can just coast. Like you don't have to do anything anymore. You can just do exactly this. You can just chat. Because you have a chat that you can talk to. You just sit there and ramble, dude. You just sit there and freaking go. And so I know that if I get really good at talking to no one, I will be even superior than any one of these great streamers, one of these great streamers, I would actually be better. I'm literally just better. I'm better in every way. If I can talk to nobody for hours on end, I would literally be unstoppable if I had a freaking chat, dude. Yeah, anyways, that's all. No, it's not all, bro. That's not all. It's fucking insane, dude. I just need like a few people in chat. A few people. Not right away. No, no, no. I don't want a few people in chat. Not yet. Because I want to get even better at talking to no one. I want people to come in here and clown on me. Brother, look at this guy talking to no one. He's a freaking insane, bro. He's insane, bro. Hold on. My signature hair. I gotta get it down. This is part of my image, bro. I'm gonna be known for my long hair. I gotta make sure that it's seen. You know what I'm saying, bro? Joe's got the beanie. I've got the hair. I've got the hair for it. My hair's better. My voice is deeper. I'm actually better. Dude, don't give me people in chat right now. No, fuck that. Fuck that. If I get so incredibly good at talking to no one for hours on end, when I finally get some people in here to talk about shit, I will be unstoppable. I will be freaking unstoppable. I will be better. I am better. I do. Dude, I am built for this. I'm built for this, buddy. You have no idea. I'm built for this. I have the internal insanity that people like. They like to watch someone go insane, bro. You could probably rage bait me pretty easily. Hey, you guys should come and watch, bro, and try and rage bait me, bro. See what happens. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I don't get rage baited very easily, bro. That's a complete lie, bro. That's a complete lie, bro. I will dude. Bro, I'm literally the freaking jonkler, bro. Like, dude, I'll lose my mind. We live in a society. We live in a society. Dude, I just have to ramble, dude. I just have to ramble for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I will get better and better and better. And then finally, when people start trickling into my stream, when these people finally start showing up, I will be unstoppable. I will be unstoppable. I will have one of the most dynamic interactions between streamer and chat ever. Maybe that's not true. There's probably some streamers out there that have way better dynamics. I think Queso's a great example. Genuinely, let's lock in for a second. Let's stop raging. I think Queso's a great example of a guy who just like, him and his chat are just like ride or die. Let it ride. Let it ride. Like, dude, his whole chat is just let it ride. And then he's just, he's just there, man. He just plays games and he lets them like fucking make jokes, but he plays into them. He's insane in a good way. Like, bro, they'll be like absolutely destroying him with like roasts and stuff. And he's just like, he just plays along, dude. He lets him. He find like, I think he actually finds them funny, which is amazing. Like the freaking weight jokes, like him jumping, like causes a freaking earthquake or something. Like simple jokes like that. But then like there's even ones that are way better than that. Like you see most of his compilations on TikTok are people saying like one-liners and then him like screaming about it and then just going back to what he's doing. Like, but it's funny because all those people who say those jokes, dude, they love him. They absolutely love him. They would literally like freaking die on a cross for that guy, dude. Like his whole chat is just ride or die, baby. Like ride or die, let it ride, And so I strive for a mix of that, but also a little bit more chaos. I like a little bit of chaos. Now his chat is definitely chaos. I mean, any big streamer is gonna have a chaotic chat, but like, I think his community is probably the most unified out of anybody. Like his chat is his community is so unified. It's insane. But dude, I'm not claiming to be the best streamer. That is completely subjective. But I know deep down I have what it takes. I've always had what it takes. But I just wasn't in the right mindset. But here I am. Here I am, baby. I'm here, and I'm here now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this stream that I'm doing right now. I think this is a great clippable stream. I'm gonna take this stream, bro. I'm gonna start posting it to TikTok. I'm gonna start making posts, bro. People are gonna see this shit and they're gonna come in here. They're gonna come in here. They're gonna be active in chat. Dude, I'm gonna have the greatest chat of all time, buddy. I'm built different. Just know that. Everybody in the future, bro, looking back at this, I'm built different. I'm built different, bro. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. Just wait. Just wait, bro. I'm gonna be here. And none of you can say, I was here. I was here. None of you can say it. Because do you know who's in chat right now? No one. Except for my girlfriend. But that's obvious. No one is here. No one can say that they were here. No one. Except my girlfriend and a few of my close friends. Other than that, this moment will age like fine wine. Dude, it's gonna be so funny. If like someone's gonna clip this, bro. Someone's gonna clip this and like I'm not saying I'm gonna do anything horrendous, but like something horrendous is gonna happen. And I'm gonna just like fall off. Like completely. I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna knock on wood. It's not gonna happen. I'm knocking on wood right now. But dude, it would be so funny, dude, if someone clipped what I just said there and like they cut to like 5 years later, something insane happens and like everybody just like starts shitting on me for no reason. I have no idea what that would be, but like assume something happens, bro. And they're just gonna like put this next to it, dude. To all the people that do that, fuck you, bro. Fuck you, man. It's not happening, dude. It's not happening. Sorry, I'm like messing with the mic. It almost like fell over. That's my bad. No one can say they were here. I have 88 followers. 88 people were here before this. I'm built different. You'll see me at the top one day, man. You'll see me at the top. I'll be up there, right next to the greats. Will I be the next biggest? Probably not. Do I even want to be the biggest? Probably not. That's another thing I gotta get used to. You know what? I'm gonna look at you right in the freaking eyes, dude. I'm gonna look at you right in the eyes. I gotta get used to looking at you, bro. Right in the peepers, dude. Right in the freaking peepers. You have no idea. I actually don't know where I'm going with that. You just don't know, man. You just have no idea. Okay, we're gonna stop there. You just don't know. You don't know, man. What do you not know? I don't know either. Frankly, I don't know what the whole point of this freaking bit is. Is this even a bit or am I just going insane? I'm completely alone in my thoughts right now. None of you know. None of you. None of you were here to listen to my physics rant of my unifying theory of everything. None of you cared. Okay? None of you were here when I was explaining my strategy of reaching the top. None of you even believed in me except for one person, maybe two. I'm better. I am better. I will reach not the top, but I will reach a significant amount of you in less, and I'm going to call it right now. 1 year, baby. 1 year, baby. It's going to take me 1 year. 1 year. And I'm going to freaking take the world by storm. 1 year. 1 freaking year, dude. You have no idea. I'm not going to eat my words. You understand me? No, it's going to happen, buddy. I am not going to eat my words. We are not going to clip this a year from now when I'm still at 5 viewers. It's not going to happen. I'm going to be at least, okay, maybe a little conservative. I'm going to be at least at 100. That's still insane, but at least slightly conservative. I was about to say like 1,500 or some shit. No, probably not. But, you are not going to clip this, buddy. You're not going to clip this and use it against me and make me eat my words 1 year from now when I'm still at 5 viewers. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. Okay? I'm built different. Stop. I got to stop looking over there. I got to look at you, man. I'm built different. Get out of my game, bro. That's what I say, dude. I'm taking this game over. Dude, I need to stop looking over there. This game is mine. It's mine. I'm coming for you, man. Who am I coming for? I don't know. Who should I go for first? Here's the thing, though. I'm not going to dethrone anybody. Just the idea of surpassing someone. I like the idea of that. I don't want to dethrone anybody. I don't want to throw shade. I got no beef with anybody. Or do I? I might have beef. Who knows? Maybe I have beef with somebody. And I'm going to overthrow them. No. That's not the kind of guy I am. No. Here's what's going to happen. I'm coming for somebody. I'm coming for you. I'm going to surpass you. And then when I get there, I'm going to give you a nice, crisp dap up and say what to do. And then hit a freaking 360 and moonwalk out. That is what I'm going to do. Shout out to my boy. What's his name? Frick, hold on. Right, where did I hear the 360 moonwalk? I heard that from this one YouTuber. Oh, Elijah Long. Some dude, I saw like a couple of his videos. Bro might be insane, but he's kind of funny. He might be a little insane, but he's kind of funny. I'm going to hit one of his signature moves. I'm going to hit a freaking 360, buddy. After dapping up my target, I'm going to dap him up. Hit that 360. And Michael Jackson, he moonwalk my way out of there, buddy. That's what's going to happen. You understand me? That's what's going to happen. I'm going to stare into your freaking soul right now and tell you that that's what's going to happen. In 1 year, 1 year, I will be at least 100 viewers deep. After 2, oh, buddy, at least 1,500. 1,500 viewers. That's right. 1,500 concurrent viewers on Twitch after just 2 years. You guys are going to say it's impossible. You guys are going to clown on me. You're going to try and clip this and use it for later. I know you. But I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm built different, buddy. You have no idea. You have no idea. I think I should probably relax and stop losing my freaking mind, dude. But strange things happen when you're alone in a room with your thoughts. Yeah, so I am insane. I am insane. It is what it is. Am I putting on an act? Is that what you're wondering right now? Am I putting on an act? Let me tell you something, bud. No. No, I'm not. Yes, I keep looking at myself, bro. I just love the way I look, you know what I mean? No. No. I'm just making sure that I'm getting the good angle, you know what I mean? No. Genuinely, I'm just looking at chat because nobody's fucking there. Nobody's there. Nobody's in chat. I keep looking as if somebody's going to save me. Somebody's going to give me a little bit of their time. I give you hours of mine. Just give me 1 minute. Just send a message, man. Just send a message in chat. That's all I need. Validate my feelings, buddy. Validate my feelings, buddy. Do it. Do it. Am I putting on an act? Let me tell you something, bud. This is not an act. I am genuinely this insane. I just never let it show. I never let it show. Because people might think I'm a little crazy if I go outside like this. I can only show this edgy side of me when I'm alone in my room. I should go turn off the lights and make it even and make it even better. None of you know. None of you know anything about me. This could all be an act, or it could really be me. No, like actually for real though. If I watch this video back, I'm gonna cringe so bad. I know that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I genuinely cannot tell you if that is an act or not. Like I could say it is, but like the way I feel right now, it's just like I want to be a little quirky, a little crazy, a little silly maybe. Maybe a little silly. It's just this feeling I've got. Like something's about to happen, but I don't know what. No. I was about to start singing Rap God. I'm not going to do that. I'm beginning to feel. No. Okay. Anyways. Point is, dude, I'm a little crazy. I'm a little messed up. Maybe. A little messed up. I have no horrible past at all. Nothing I can relate to anybody who has trauma. But I'm a little crazy, so yes. I think so. I think I'll have a little bit of silliness, please. A little appetizer, you might say. An appetizer of silliness. With a side of I don't know the side. I don't know where I was going with that joke. Give me a side of fries, please. Waffle fries from Chick-fil-A. I'm not a big Chick-fil-A guy, by the way. Hot take, I know. Chick-fil-A is, in fact, overrated. Get over it. Relax. Dude, I can't, bro. I'm actually so cooked from Instagram, bro. I just keep saying like dude, my feed is so cooked, dude. Actually, every time I say something like that, I just want to say like the freaking like alpha wolf thing. You know, it's like the picture of that alpha wolf, bro, and he's like, "Relax, liberals." It's called dark humor. It has nothing to do with like I don't know why, but I just find that funny. Like, has nothing to do with liberals, but I don't know. It's funny. Hey, bro, I'm not controversial. Okay, how do I feel about liberals? Well, let me tell you. This is a horrible topic to get into, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to look up the definition of liberal so that nobody can get mad at me, okay? Because like I kind of know what it means, but um just so that I have a defense so if somebody comes in and gets mad at me, I'm going to look up the definition. Okay, yeah. So definition's pretty chill. Um if we go by the strict definition of it, I think it's pretty chill. Anyways, that's my reaction to it. That's my reaction to liberalism. It's pretty chill, buddy. Someone's gonna clip that and try to cancel me. Really awesome. I don't know why. Dude, all the freaking like dude. I'm not gonna get into politics, bro. I think politics is actually like the worst thing. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what side I'm on. Is there a side? Definitively, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Who knows? The amount that I care about politics is about nothing, actually. I don't care. Should I care? Probably. People are going to tell me I should care. Am I going to? Probably not. Is that a hot take? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm pretty neutral on most things. Most things. Not everything. A little crazy, a little wild. Dude, I think honestly, if I keep streaming, I might actually go insane and I might say something that'll just like get me dead in the water. Like I'm not even going to be able to do anything. I think I just actually had like a rant. Dude, I just had a freaking 2 hour. Come on, bro. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours, buddy. I just did 2.5 hours of literally ranting to nobody. Imagine I do this every single freaking day for months and months and months. And I post all of my freaking insanity clips to YouTube. Not YouTube, sorry. To, to, to fuck. Okay. To TikTok. I could be great. I will be great. I will be great. There's no question about that. I'm a little silly. I'm a little silly. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna take some of these freaking videos and put them on TikTok. Okay. Okay. We'll find out who's really better. Because simply, I am. Okay, bye. Good stream.